It's a time to discuss about Bosnia and Herzegovina future amid regional challenges with Mr. Christian Schmidt, High Representative in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Yes, please. This is your place. Unfortunately, Mr. Schmidt, very, very bad news from Bosnia and Herzegovina, cataclysmic sense. In the floods in the town Jablanica, 14 people lost their lives. Unfortunately, I'm afraid that is not a final number, that people in other part of the country as well, and I hope that they will be found to help people in those areas. Just of course, your message for the people of Bosnia and Herzegovina.
This very catastrophic information, I think we feel all of those suffering. I just have had private contacts as well to hear how people are staying and how it is going on. I see that the disaster management assistance is working. There's nothing which could be not done better. I will, after our exchange, have as well contact on my behalf on the international community and with responsible people in the canton and the federation to hear whether we have to improve and give more assistance. Unfortunately, this is part of this our experience that the climate change has brought such a lot of challenges and to losses and to disasters that we cannot go around. This is one of the key challenges which we have in this region, especially with the huge number of mountains and valleys and easy possibility to water running and unfortunately killing people.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
All my regrets and condolences.
Let's start to discuss. We have just 15 minutes to discuss about Bosnia and Herzegovina future amid regional challenges. And Mr. Schmidt, how would you describe the current situation in Bosnia and Herzegovina, of course, in terms of internal political relations, but also the influence that comes from the neighbors, primarily Serbia, but also Croatia?
I would like to just to follow and take the statement my estimated colleague and predecessor, Miroslav Lajčák, has given in this context about situation in Bosnia and Herzegovina. I think he's right. This is the year of political opportunity. This is the year of political possibilities, but it is as well the year of political action and decisions. You are describing that we have a very complicated political framework. So far I hear, and I hope that this will be done in due time, there has not been a possibility to nominate a chief negotiator for the process of accession to European Union due to some internal dissenting positions. I think this is the time that we have to address all political responsible peoples in Bosnia and Herzegovina to say only right or wrong, this is your country and this is the opportunity for your country, and go and set aside some ethnic political reservations that jump in, as Miroslav Lajčák said, all those who publicly are declaring that they are in favor of European integration. It's time to prove.
How would you rate your relations with the key political leader in Bosnia and Herzegovina, especially when it comes to Euro-Atlantic integration?
I see there's a different position about Euro-Atlantic integration. This first, I think we in this country, in a NATO country, it is easy to talk about NATO. if you allow me just to say that I'm here as well
Okay.
on behalf in my position as President of the German Atlantic Council.
Yes.
So I'm very happy to share the colleagues in Montenegro. But we all know and see that there is a strong reservation in the attitude towards whether one wants to have NATO or transatlantic relations integrated, yes or no, is politically not unified. We have on the Republika Srpska political people and some influence from Serbia, a lot of reservation, and this is one of the key challenges for Bosnia-Herzegovina. NATO has put a focus on Bosnia-Herzegovina in a positive way. I don't know whether Reinhard Lobatka is back again. We just have met you being with the NATO Parliamentary Assembly. The NATO Council has been in Sarajevo. You have been in Sarajevo. The chairman of the military committee has been there, and the SACEUR. So there is an underlining that there's a preparedness to understand that security is one of the key issues of the future stability of this region. And this includes just a very clear commitment to the common goal of maintaining security without, how should I say, foreign interference.
During the September, you met some of the, or most of the key Bosnian politicians. And when we talk about Euro-Atlantic integration, I know definitely, or I have a very good sense, that they just, tell you, oh, of course, we are for the Euro-Atlantic integration, it's our path, it's the best way for our country, but
maybe there are unsaid sentences as well. I would see and hope that we get more understanding that, including in terms of European integration, it is necessary to understand that for people in Bosnia-Herzegovina, I would not distinguish between ethnic background. I would say they just want to stay in a peaceful development and situation, want to have a sustainability. And this is something which should be better addressed. And I think they count as well, first on NATO, especially one country, but as well on European Union and the member states. So I think we have an opportunity if we answer this in a positive way. And I can basically assure you, because there's a lot of work to be done to avoid any constellation. This needs sometimes as well integration on the European and NATO axis.
Let's talk a little bit about public perception of you and your job in Bosnia and Herzegovina. In the Bosnian entity of RS, those who, or mostly, of support Milorad Dodik's SNSD, and Milorad Dodik as well, call you a fake high representative. How is going with Dodik?
I'm Bavarian.
Yeah.
My party, president of the party I'm coming from, was Franz Josef Strauss. He once said, everybody's darling has to avoid to be everybody's fool. I think if we have all some level of dissent, it's okay. They have the interest, I have to fulfill my mandate, and so I don't take it personal, and sometimes I'm a little bit optimistic with some reason that there is remaining a way to be constructively together.
Just before my next question, shortly, some introduction. Part of the public part of the electorate which is gathered around the opposition parties whose headquarters are in Sarajevo, in principle support the activities of OHR in Bosnia and Herzegovina, but they have a whole series of objections of your work. It's often heard, I know it's an old story, but it's often heard that you favor Herzegovina and its leader, Dragan Čović, and there be the influence of the HDZ-led Croatian government of Bosnia and Herzegovina. In your opinion, is
with the special in this country to make it easy categorize, mix it with a little bit of conspiracy theories, and developing, sometimes I'm reading things about me which I'm interested to read about me because I have never read that, heard myself that I would have thought things about things like this. No, it is just very simple. I think my mandate is to keep functionality due to the Dayton General Framework of Peace. This is the lack, and when I arrived, I had, for example, in the Federation, one of the largest entity of Bosnia and Herzegovina, a dysfunctional government, a dysfunctional presidency, and a dysfunctional court. I managed, with all humble reference, that this is over. We have a functional court, we have a functional parliament, we have a functional presidency and a functional government. Yes, I had to intervene. This makes some people happy, some people not. I have amended the constitution of the Federation after this because there was no regulation in what happens if they do not agree. They should consult. But consult to the at Kalendas Graecas, no. So I put in an amendment which comes at the end to the dissolution of the parliament and new elections if this is not the case. 1 year snapback rule. So I said comes into force after 1 year, if not the parliament has agreed in having their own way to make it. May I inform you that nothing happened except one attempt, 1 week, in the last of the 52 weeks to try to find an own way. There was one attempt, but not a discussion in the parliament. So this describes, unfortunately, a little bit more about the real situation in Bosnia and Herzegovina than all you could read sometimes in media.
Okay. And we have just 19 seconds and just key challenges in the coming period for Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Bosnia and Herzegovina will be and has to be part of European integration. We have to focus on regional cooperation. I'm very happy that the Berlin process just 2 days ago, I think found a good consent of having regional cooperation, and we have to address one thing which I think as well is lacking. Beyond, this is not about Bosniaks or Croats or Serbs or others. Young people of all of this ethnic background, they are looking very strictly about the development, the political development. Unfortunately, a lot of them take out of this the conclusion that if European Union comes not to us, we come to European Union. The brain drain, which we see in all member states of the region of Western Balkans, that is dramatic in Bosnia and Herzegovina. I feel that one could address a little bit more this issue because this is the decision about the future of this country, whether the dynamic part of the society remains, contributes, or is leaving. We have to work to give them a possibility to stay, and this means, I don't know whether, with all respect, and I am allowed to say as a long-standing member of the Ministerial Council of European Union and short-time member of European Parliament, I do not know whether our traditional way, which I would call the Méthode Jean Monnet, the ever closer union, with 35 chapters, like we hopefully have to see in Montenegro done, whether on the long run of time, in a complicated situation, can be the only answer, or whether we would have intermediate, short-time, developments and agreements to bring the country and the people closer to European integration ahead of full membership. I hope that Montenegro will be somehow the torchbearer for the Western Balkans, and I'm confident, hearing what all is done, what we hear today from the state president, what I heard from the prime minister and the government, that things are going their way. This will have an impact as well on other countries. But don't forget that we cannot make it very easily, and we cannot promise anybody to say, wait more 20 years, people will be not polite to us. They will say, then I make another decision. We have to avoid this. We have to be constructive and creative, and I think this is important.
It's enough for the 15 minutes, and it was just 15 minutes. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.